What's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here from Marty Music. Thank you so much for subscribing to this YouTube channel right here and going over to martymusic.com, checking that out. Really appreciate that. So every Friday at Marty Music is a more technique-oriented lesson. And in this lesson, we're going to take a look at what's called the BB box. It's a great little position, great spot to mix the major minor pentatonic over the blues, made famous by B.B. King, obviously. So we'll zoom in, and I'll show you some ideas based around it. It's all about knowing where that root is to locate it and then working around it. So we'll figure that all out. Also, at the end of this video, there'll be a link to another YouTube video, just a free YouTube video, super slow jam track in this key so you can practice this stuff. And I think that'll be helpful as well. So thanks again, and let's get to it. Here we go. All right, we're really zoomed in today for this BB box lesson. Now, I like to find it, whether it's a chord or a scale, really by where the root is. So we're focused on the key of A for this lesson. So if I had an A note right here, that's the 5th fret, and you have your standard minor pentatonic. You've got the extension. So that root happens up that extension with the ring finger right here on the 10th fret of the B string. That is an A note. So all that stuff still works, but if I can see that root right there, I have this whole little BB box world right in the next spot up from the extension. Now the BB box, I don't think of it as just one set of notes or one shape, because you can kind of mix the major and minor right in here. So if you looked at my mixing in minor lesson, which was based off finding the root, I can put my index finger on that root A, and then I know a whole step up, that's called you could call that the 2 or the 9. It's the 9th note up of the scale. If I bend that up a whole step, that's great for major. And then over the 4 chord, if I bent that up a half step, and then over the 5. So that's right already something that can be utilized from one of our previous lessons. So that's kind of cool. But now let me show you, when we're in this position, what the minor pentatonic scale looks like. Just the straight minor pentatonic on the top 3 strings here. By locating the root, you'd have the 12th fret of the G, then the root, which is 10 of the B, then you'd have the 13th of the B. So that's just the minor pentatonic scale. Same exact thing right there. But then what's super cool, my voice has to go up high because it's so cool. You've got this little blues note right here. And so what you would have is 10, 11, 12, and back. And this will be an ongoing series, so I'm going to show other licks that are right in this BB box. Right now, this is more the concept of it. So here's where it gets really BB sounding, is instead of playing this right here, the 12th fret of the G, middle finger will be on the 11th fret of the G. That's called the major 6th, which is not part of the minor pentatonic, but it's so cool because it's especially in the blues, it can be part of major or minor, but it has a more happy major sound, but it works over any of the chords of the A blues. So a classic lick would be sliding into the 11th fret with the middle finger on the G. You can do it from a whole step, you can do it from a half step, you can do it from way down here. And then to the root, which is the 10th fret of the B. So lots of this, lots of 11 on the G and 10 on the B, which is the root. You always have 10, 11, 12, and back on that high E. And so I would really stick with this instead of that. They're both in it, but to get that BB sound, you always want the 11th fret of the G string. But then you could go straight blues scale or minor pentatonic with the blues note. Which has a great sound. Or you could do more of a major thing. And so there's lots of stuff where you bend the 12th fret of the B string. And you can bend that up and then hit your pinky on the 12 of the high E. That's 6 right there. You could do the 10, 11, 12. And anytime I want to do the just regular minor pentatonic, it's there. Or the minor pentatonic, but with the 6 instead of the 7, but the rest can be the blues scale. Okay, so I just want you to start getting comfortable with this spot. And like I said, you find it by finding the root on the B string and putting your index finger there. If your ring finger's there, you're in the position below it as part of that A minor pentatonic scale or A blues scale extended run. So that root's there. At some point, you can transition to your index right there, and now you're in the BB box. So the final lick I want to show you, this really good one, is double notes on the root. So we go da-da, and that's the 10th fret of the B. And then we're going to bend the 12th fret of the high E, a whole step and a half step, all the way to the pitch that would be on the 15th fret of the high E. So, to recap, 2 times on the root, 10th fret B, super bend on the 12 of the high E. Then we're going to go down the little blues run, 12, 11, 10. So put that together. And then roll over to the 12 of the B. And I'm just doing a little half step bend back then that 11 on the G, back to the root. So you put that together, and it's meant to be improvised. Don't just stick to exactly how I'm teaching it to you. Experiment with it. Come up with your own licks, but... And don't be afraid to do that and get down into the other positions of that extended run. Cool thing about that BB box too is that the root on the A strings right there on the 12th fret, you have that whole extended run. Oh, that was a bad note. Ah! Sorry, folks. Let me fix that. Root's right here on the 17. All right, there was the lesson. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I really appreciate it. Subscribing to this channel right here, going over to martymusic.com, and checking out the lessons. So thank you. Remember, right after my little spiel here, there'll be a link in the end plate. Click right on it, take you to the jam track so you can practice this stuff. Thanks again, and we'll see you real soon. See you later.